You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Harry's wife. Catherine's envy of Harry's wife. If you were to listen to the Sugars, you would think that the Princess of Wales sits in a drawing room somewhere, consumed with envy in relation to Harry's wife. The deluded Sugars put it out there to suggest that Catherine looks upon their princess, Harry's wife, and is consumed with this envy, that she's there beating her well-manicured fists against a desk as she fumes at another spectacular appearance by the Duchess of Overseas. They do their best to denigrate and slate Kate, whilst at the same time suggesting that she copies Harry's wife, that she follows Harry's wife's lead. This concoction of a picture of envy is one which, of course, Harry's wife positively encourages. Why? Because she believes that she's the pioneer and that Catherine is the one that emulates her. She does that because her narcissism tells her that's the way that it is, and it shores up that ego of hers, enabling her to draw fuel from the thought of believing that she is superior to Catherine, and reinforces the image that she has created of herself, that all the men want to knock her hip out and all the women want to be like her, including her sister-in-law. Even though she is the nemesis, she wants Catherine's approval. She wants Catherine to look upon her and approve of her and admire her. And her narcissism tells her that the failure of Catherine to do this is because she's envious. Naturally, this ignores all of the evidence that exists, which tells us that it's the other way around. But that is apt for the way that the narcissist behaves. That her narcissism tells her quite simply this: Harry's wife, you are brilliant, beautiful, generous, kind, humorous, and fantastic in the sack. Anybody with a brain would want to be you. And your sister-in-law would love to be as brilliant as you, and she's ever so upset and saddened by the fact that she's not. She can't stand the fact that you're superior to her, and that's why she doesn't talk to you, because she's embarrassed and wrapped up in her own envy. It's unfortunate that she has to be so bad-mannered towards you as she has before, that she was so awful towards you that she made you cry. But the fact is, she's envious of you. And that narrative is picked up on by Harry's wife, and she thrives on it. She lives for it, and so do her supporters. But if, as I always encourage you to do, we were to examine the evidence and expose Harry's wife, we would, of course, demonstrate that the envy is all hers. Now, with Catherine, envy is a narcissistic trait. And, of course, to some extent, she will exhibit envy here and there, but probably more likely with regard to the dessert that Prince William has chosen. She thinks, ooh, that looks better than mine. She's not riven with envy, but it exists. But she certainly doesn't exhibit it with regard to Harry's wife, notwithstanding the deluded mind of Harry's wife that tells her to the contrary. Let's ask ourselves, what on earth would she be envious of? Status? Well, she's the Princess of Wales compared to Harry's wife being the Duchess of Sussex. She's going to be the Queen of England in due course. Harry's wife won't be. So there's no envy with regard to status. What about the way that she dresses? Well, of course, compare the golden wow dress as against looking like Grandma's bedspread, or brilliant in electric blue at the recent Scottish coronation as against Fridge by Valentino, or captivating country set as she's worked the wax jacket and Wellingtons versus Kermit Goes to Church, marvellous in magenta as against Tent by Army Surplus. The fact is, Kate outguns Harry's wife in the style stakes again and again. She looks effortlessly gracious and elegant. What it is that Kate has established a uniform, you see, for her public engagements. She knows what works for her, and importantly, what works for her figure and for her standing as a royal. So what she often does, knowing that a particular style suits her, because she takes the advice of stylists, she buys the same garments, footwear and accessories in multiple colours. So, for example, she owns an Amelia Wickstead coat dressed in 3 different shades, sort of salmon pink, a light blue and green. She also has an Alexander McQueen suit in 5 different colours, and a pair of Gian Vito Rossi heels in 8 different hues, and an Emmy London clutch bag in a whopping 12 different shades. She utilises her uniform of wearing sleek dresses and elegant coats in a solid block of colour with a single tone accessory. She tends to wear modest necklines and below-the-knee skirts, which means she can spend all day in comfort, not worrying about flashing too much skin. And she wears them with a waistband to enhance her figure. So that's at high-profile royal events. She knows when she goes to farms and outdoor visits and casual events, she'll swap to khaki trousers or skinny jeans with boots or sneakers, a blouse and a sweater. She'll swap the lightweight knit for a chunky roll neck in the winter months. Smart casual engagements, it's a thin sweater into a long pleated skirt, and then finish the look with either heels or long boots. All of this is as a consequence of knowing what works for her. But how would she be envious of someone who looks like one of our Giles is missing, poo emoji hat, teacup by Royal Doulton, and all the other fashion aberrations that Harry's wife has engaged in? What about her hair? Well, Harry's wife invariably looks like some rats have settled on top of her head. Contrast that with the hairstyles that the Princess of Wales has. There's going to be no envy there. The Princess of Wales is sporty. She looks after herself. We've seen just recently when she was hanging out with Federer, undertaking some sporty action there. She's toned. Harry's wife, she's not fat, far from it. But you don't really see her engaging in any kind of exercise. And you certainly couldn't imagine her engaging in the things that Catherine does also that are of a sporty nature. What about charity and philanthropy? Well, with Harry's wife, she talks about it a lot, but doesn't tend to get down and do it. We've seen with the 40-40 scheme, for example, the supposed assistance with regard to parental leave and marching on Washington with Gloria Steinem. Lots of talk, not a lot of walk. It's also the case, of course, that she hijacks other people's partnerships, making her look good. But consider that by reference to what Catherine does. In March 2011, she and William set up a gift fund held by the Foundation of Prince William and Prince Harry to allow well-wishers who wanted to give them a wedding gift to donate money to charities they care about instead. The gift fund supported 26 charities of the couple's choice, incorporating the armed forces, children, the elderly, art, sport and conservation. Her charity work primarily focuses on issues surrounding young children, mental health, sport, addiction and art. She holds a number of charitable patronages: Action for Children, the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club, the Anna Freud Centre, East Anglia Children's Hospices, Evelina London Children's Hospital, Family Action, the Maternal Health Alliance, the National Portrait Gallery, the National History Museum, NHS Charities Together, Place to Be, the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, Sports Aid, the Scouts, the 1851 Trust, the Foundling Museum, the Lawn Tennis Association, the Royal Photographic Society, and the Victoria and Albert Museum. Catherine, being an art history graduate, also takes an interest in art and handpicked the Art Room, which helps disadvantaged children access art therapy before its closure, as well as the National Portrait Gallery. She acquired patronage of the Lawn Tennis Association, the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club, Action for Children, and the Royal Photographic Society after they were passed down by the Queen. In December 2015, she assumed patronage of the Royal Air Force Air Cadets for youth aged 12 to 19. She became patron of the Foundling Museum, a museum to commemorate Foundling Hospital in 2019. She was also a local volunteer leader with the Scout Association in North Wales, of which Queen Elizabeth II was patron, before being made co-president in September 2020, alongside the Duke of Kent. She's visited Action on Addiction centres, spending time with recovering addicts, not swooping in at Uvalde for ill-timed photo shoots. In October 2012, she launched the MPACT programme Moving Parents and Children Together, one of the only UK programmes to focus specifically on the impact of drug addiction on families. In 2021, she was announced as patron of the Forward Trust after its merger with Action on Addiction. She's worked extensively in children's palliative care alongside East Anglia's children's hospices and undertakes private visits to children's hospices and their family. She made her first public address at the opening of their Ipswich facility in 2012. She opened their Norfolk hospice in 2019 after launching their financial appeal in 2014, which raised $10 million. She's a keen sportswoman. She attends Wimbledon. She's been the patron of the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club since 2016. She enjoys sailing and has taken part in the sport to raise money for charity. She launched, alongside Prince Harry, Coach Corps. The programme was set up following the 2012 Olympics to provide apprenticeship opportunities for people who desire to pursue a career as a professional coach. She's been awarded life membership of the Marylebone Cricket Club. In 2019, she lent her support to Backyard Nature, a campaign created to inspire children, families and communities to get outside and engage with nature. She competed in the King Cup Yachting Regatta to raise money for 8 different charities in August 2019. Notice the doing, getting out there, rolling up her sleeves and doing things, all a contrast with Harry's wife. The simple fact is, the suggestion of envy is one that's manifested by the envy of Harry's wife, driven by her paranoia and, of course, her deluded supporters. The fact is now, Kate pays little attention to Harry's wife, let alone be envious of her. To her, she knows precisely what she is and has chosen the path of no contact. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.